Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain how Prometheus works with Kubernetes. I have seen this take down production systems because when your monitoring is not correctly tied to your orchestration layer, you are effectively flying blind while your infrastructure scales automatically beneath you. Let us break down the architecture that powers observability for the world's largest containerized clusters. Specifically, we will look at the metrics collection problem, how service discovery functions, the Prometheus operator, alerting rules, and finally, how to debug scraping failures. These are the core pillars of a reliable observability stack, so do not skip ahead. Watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. Quick note, this channel shares practical IT tutorials daily, so if that is useful to you, hit subscribe. So why is this a problem? In a traditional setup, you have static servers with fixed IP addresses. But in Kubernetes, pods are temporary. They appear and vanish based on traffic. If your monitoring system expects a static list of addresses, it will break every time a deployment happens. This is exactly what we call the service discovery gap. So what is Prometheus service discovery really? It is the brain of your monitoring. Rather than you manually updating a configuration file, Prometheus talks to the Kubernetes API. It asks who is currently running and updates its internal list of scrape targets in real time. It is essentially an automated receptionist that keeps your monitoring map perfectly in sync with your live cluster. Before we start, you need a few things. First, you need a functional Kubernetes cluster, ideally version 1.24 or newer. You must have kubectl access with cluster admin privileges to set up the monitoring stack. You also need Helm, the standard package manager for Kubernetes. Finally, have a terminal open and ready. If you are on Linux or Mac OS, the default terminal works. If you are on Windows, ensure you have WSL2 installed and configured correctly. Verify your setup by running kubectl version to ensure you can reach your cluster. Take a moment to review each point shown on screen. Now let us look at the architecture. Prometheus does not just sit there. It actively reaches out to the Kubernetes API. It asks for metadata. Once it finds a target, it reaches out directly to the pod-specific port to collect metrics. This is the crucial pull model. It ensures the data comes from the application itself, not from a middleman. To get started, we use the Prometheus stack Helm chart. First, we add the community repository. Then, we update our local cache. We create a dedicated namespace called monitoring to keep our cluster clean. Finally, we install the stack. This single command sets up Prometheus, Grafana, and all the necessary exporters for your cluster. If everything worked, you should see the status as deployed. This confirms the Helm chart has successfully created all your pods and services. You can now verify by running kubectl get pods in the monitoring namespace. This is the core of service discovery. We define a job called Kubernetes pods. We tell Prometheus to use the pod role for discovery. The relabeling config is the secret sauce. It tells Prometheus to only scrape pods that have a specific annotation enabled. This keeps your database clean by ignoring non-metric pods. Check your Prometheus UI target page. You should see the state as UP. This means Prometheus found the pod, reached out to the metric endpoint, and successfully pulled the data. If it says down, check your network policies. In production, you need alerts. Here, we define a high memory usage alert. We check if usage exceeds 850 megabytes for 5 minutes. We include a label for severity and a descriptive summary. The 5-minute duration is critical. It prevents alert fatigue from minor temporary spikes. Once triggered, your alert will appear in the Prometheus alerting tab. You can see the status as firing. This tells your on-call engineer exactly which pod is failing allowing for rapid response during an incident. A common mistake is the scrape target timeout error. This happens when Prometheus cannot reach the pod's network address. This is usually caused by a restrictive network policy or the pod not listening on the expected port. To fix this, first check your network policies. Ensure they allow traffic from the Prometheus namespace. Then, verify that the required annotation is actually on your pod. Use the patch command shown here to enable scraping without redeploying your entire application. Think about this. A logistics company was blind to their system health. They were relying on manual health checks. By moving to Prometheus, they automated their discovery. The result was a massive reduction in downtime, saving them thousands in lost tracking data every single time a pod failed. So when should you use Prometheus? Use it if you need a pull-based system for a dynamic cluster. It is the gold standard for Kubernetes. Use it when you need granular control over your metrics. But do not use it if you want a fully managed push-based system like Datadog, which requires zero operational overhead. Also, do not use it if you lack the storage capacity to manage the time series data, as that requires ongoing maintenance. Use these criteria to decide if this tool is right for your situation. You now know that Prometheus uses service discovery to find pods. You understand the pull-based model is your source of truth. Always use annotations to manage your scrape targets. Make sure your alerting rules have a buffer to stop false alarms. And remember, network policies are usually why your scrapes fail. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Join our WhatsApp community. Find the link in the description for more practical IT resources daily. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.